We are going to go through a quick, less than 15-minute class just to get the heart rate up, get the blood flowing, get stretched out and warmed up for the day. Starting in child's pose. So come to the pose, big toes together, knees wide, walk the hands forward. Pressing palms in. You might get the elbows to come off the mat here, really get that lengthening in the spine. And child's pose is always a great place to start because you can feel the breath. That's right away. Big breath in through the nose. Feel the back expand. Side out the mouth. Do that a few more times. Big, deep breath in through the nose. And empty out the mouth. One more. Just fully releasing all that air. If it's available, if you can seal the lips, and we'll start to bring that breath in through the nose, in out through the nose. Walk the hands over to the right so you come into a nice side extension. You're just moving from the waist up here. Come back through center and we'll go over to the left side. Right hand can go on top of the left. Work back through center, rise to table as you inhale. And once you're in table, we'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. If you need stability, curl the toes under, or you can have tops of the feet on the mat. Drop the belly, shift the gaze. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest, pull the spine up. Let's keep moving with this. Belly lowers, the gaze shifts. Exhale, tuck and round. Do this a few times, just to get a couple more movements of the spine. That's what we're gonna do, all practice, move that spine. Work on flexibility and strengthening. Coming into that cat. On the exhale, inhale for cow. One more. Once you're in neutral table, let's curl the toes under and we're going to take the knees just 2-3 inches off the floor, hovering table. It's a nice way to build core strength, shoulder strength. All these muscles we use when we take our transition to down dog. Lower down. Once you lower down, push back into toe breaker pose. So you could just push back, putting pressure on the bottoms of the feet, or you could sit back. You could sit right on your heels. And if you're doing that, you could reach down and curl the pinky toes under. This is a great pose when it's over. Go back into table pose. Once you're there, lift the feet. You can point, you can flex, stretch out the toes, roll the ankles. Pointing and flexing. We're going to curl the toes, lift the hips, bring yourself into down dog. Down dog, inverted V shape. I like to look at the center of the mat, take some pressure off the neck. You are pulling the chest towards the thighs. It's hanging upside down. A little perspective change here. Looking at the world upside down. Take a few more breaths. Come back onto the hands and knees, table pose. Table pose, we're gonna walk the hands as far forward as they can go to bring yourself down onto your forearms. Pull the face, pull the chest towards the floor, puppy pose. So that lower region of the spine, that's where we're bending into with this puppy pose. Bring yourself to table pose, and then we'll counter puppy pose with turtle shell. Hips to heels, arms are beside you, legs are together, top of the head is down. You can always move side to side here. Put some pressure on the belly. Rise to table. Down dog. In down dog, we're going to shift forward to plank pose. And if you moved your hands or your feet, we want to keep them there. That's a good distance. Plank to down dog, lift to down dog. And then come back into plank pose. We're going to take one push up, lower halfway, push back up, down dog. And this time, come forward into plank, onto the forearms, forearm plank. 5 full breaths here. So if you need your knees to keep from sagging, you can do that, or piking. Look right between the thumbs or in front of the fingers. I think we have about 3 more full breaths here. Onto the thighs, uncurl the toes, Sphinx pose. And you could look in front of the fingertips, you could look between the thumbs. If you want to stretch the neck, tuck the chin to chest. It might be a little too much this early in practice. Lower down. Keep the legs straight behind, hands under the shoulders, elbows in. We'll do a few cobra push-ups to continue to warm up the spine. Inhale, lift the head, lift the shoulders, lift the chest. And lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, lift up, peeking forward. Lower down. Once you lower down, push back into turtle shell again. You can reach around, grab the bottoms of the feet. Rise to table. Exhale, down dog. And look forward. Step the feet to meet the hands. Breath in, lift up halfway, but get that back really flat as you peek forward. Fold back in, sit into chair. And we're just going to move this. Rise on up. Go right into a back bend, big back bend. Look up and behind. Exhale, fold. Breath in, lift up halfway. Fold back in, sit into chair pose again. Come up to mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Take the arms up overhead. Grab that left wrist. Cross left foot over right. Extend to the right. Come back through center opposite. Right crosses left. You grab the right wrist. Extend left. Try not to clench the toes though as you do this. You come back through center. Another big back bend, all from the waist up. Fold forward. Breath in, lift up halfway. Fold back in, chair. Sitting low, you're trying to get a little more weight in the heels than the toes. You could lift the toes, spread them out here. Toes down, rise on up to mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, arms up, fold forward. Take a breath in to lift up halfway. Plant the hands, step back to plank pose this time. And you can lower all the way down, go into cobra halfway, peel into an up dog. You could use the knees to take a supported version of the transition. But however you're doing this, move with the breath. Work your way back to down dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Peek forward, feet come to meet the hands. Breath in, lift up halfway. Fold back in all the way on up through mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. We're going to take 2 more sun A's. Arms up on an inhale. Fold forward. Lift and lengthen, breathing in. Plant the hands. Once again, once you're in plank pose, you decide how you take your transition to down dog. Maybe it's on the knees, lowering halfway, coming into the back bend, up dog, back into down dog. Look forward. We'll come back to the top of the mat. Breath in to lift up halfway, folding in, rooting and rising. Hands come to heart center. And once more, arms up on an inhale, fold forward, breath in, lifting up halfway. Once the hands are down, step to plank. You could even hold plank. You could hold plank and then just lift to down dog. Always pulling those hips up, chest pulls towards the thighs, gaze at the center of the mat. Then once again, top of the mat, breath in, lift up halfway, fold back in, up through mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. You probably notice your heart rate's up a little bit. Keep the focus on the breath, so we keep that breath even. Bring the arms back up on an inhale. Pull the left knee up, majorette. Holding here. Taking arms out wide, palms are down, they're in line with the shoulders. Kick the left leg behind you, warrior 3. Lower left toes down, arms come up overhead, crescent warrior. Staying on the ball of that left foot. Step up to the top of the mat. Hands come to heart center. And we'll begin the other side. Arms up on an inhale, pull the right knee up. That left foot, you're not clenching the toes, you're not locking the knee. You're not tensing the shoulders. So this idea that we do these hard poses, but we do them with ease. Arms out wide. Kick the leg out behind you, warrior 3. Flex the foot. Lower the toes down, take the arms up, inhaling, crescent warrior. We'll step up, fold forward. Grab the elbows, keep a nice bend in the knees here. All the way on up through mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Step wide on your mat, face the long edge of your mat. Take arms out wide, palms are down. Lunge into warrior 2. You want to make sure that knees get going past the ankle. You're not digging the toes in, arms level with shoulders. Reverse warrior. Left hand down, right arm up and over. Warrior 2, inhaling. Side angle. You can have the forearm on the thigh, left arm up. You could come into the full version of the pose with the fingers down. If you have the fingers down, have the elbow and the knee work against each other to open up the hip a little bit here. And then we're going to take another balancing pose, half moon. The hand goes in front of the foot. You're lifting that left leg up. Flex the foot. And if you need a block, if you're dipping too far towards the floor, put your hand on a block. Half moon. Flex the foot. And then we're going to lower back into warrior 2, turning into the left side. Lunge into warrior 2 on the left. So if you need to adjust your stance, adjust. Go wide with the arms. Reverse warrior. Warrior 2. Side angle. Again, options here could be the supported version. You could even have your right hand on your hip looking over the shoulder. If it's too much to lift the hand up, you could put your hand on a block. We'll step into our balancing pose, half moon, left side. Move slow into these balancing poses. Let's lower back down, warrior two. Turn towards the long edge of the mat. Take the toes and angle them out, heels in, cowboy squat, sit low. And you can move a little bit side to side. So we're moving the knees and the ankles, the hips, sink, sink, sink low. Lift the heels, lift the heels. Heels down, straighten the legs, toes in now, heels out. Take a big back bend, look up and behind. Fold forward. Breath in to lift up halfway. Fold in deep, walk the hands back. We're gonna work the feet a little closer. So we're hips distance, come up through mountain pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take the feet slightly wider than the hips to angle the toes out, heels in. Come down into a yoga squat. In that yoga squat, put some pressure on the knees with the elbows. Palms are pressing together. Back is nice and straight. Come down onto your mat with the soles of feet together in a cobbler's pose. And you could stay here grabbing the toes. You could put your hands or your elbows on your knees. Maybe walk the hands out over the legs. Another option, if you want to stretch the low back, is to take the hands under the shins, grab the toes from the outside, fold over the legs. Rise up, plant the feet, and we are going to take one round of boat pose. Lift the feet. So you keep a bend in the knees, it protects the back. You could go wide with arms, a little more for the shoulders or arms alongside the legs. The back is straight. Lean back till you feel like you could unbalance. Come out of your pose. If you do, you just come right back up. Plant the feet. We're going to come into a cross-legged seated. In that cross-legged seated, sweep the arms up overhead, reach, fold forward. Walk the hands out as far forward as you can go. Give this a couple breaths. Back up. We'll change the cross of the legs. Sweep the arms back up, and we'll do that same action. Fold on over. Rise up once again, plant the feet, take the arms out in front, palms forward. Use the core, or if you need support, hands are down, come onto your back. Once you are on your back, we are setting ourselves up for our final pose, giving ourselves a few minutes in Shavasana. This idea that we can simply be still, we can rest when we're not sleeping. And here, Shavasana can take many forms. It can be a cobbler's pose. You could put a block under the tailbone like I did, supported bridge, or legs out long. You could put your legs up the wall, a place that you're comfortable, a place that you can be still, a place that you can rest. If you would like to continue on in Shavasana, you can do that. If you're ready to move out, you do have a prop underneath, take it out. Whole knees to chest onto our side. Come up to seated, back into that cross-legged seated pose. Hands to heart center. Final breath in through the nose. Let it out the mouth. Awesome work. Namaste.